ambitions.
So much for efforts to appease Hitler. It took those dreamers of the parliament long enough to realize dictators only understand overwhelming power.
Well, my troops are ready and eager to drive the Germans back into Germany.
I wish the French were also ready. I've seen their frontline troops. They're more rabble than an army.
Still, we have more than enough forces to throw the Germans back into their barracks before Poland is overrun. The Siegfried Line won't stop us. It's both unfinished and undermanned.
Our politicians disagree. They declared war on Germany, but it seems like they expect Hitler to back off because of some harsh words.
I take it Prime Minister Chamberlain won't authorize an offensive operation?
He won't. I will get him to come around eventually, but we'll lose precious time while he dithers and dallies.
How much more time does he want? If the French and the British don't strike now, Poland is doomed. Along with their hopes of resolving this war quickly.
I'm telling you, the French are not ready to strike. And I won't risk our expeditionary force all by itself.
If the French aren't ready now, they won't be any more ready in a year. They'll learn to fight once they get into action. We must strike now when the German defenses are weak.
That is true, but I won't waste my men's lives. Brooke is right. We need a clear plan.
Finally, a measured opinion. The situation is anything but clear. Gentlemen, any ideas on how we tackle this operation? General Alexander, Prime Minister Chamberlain was against our involvement in this. Nonetheless, your main task here will be to capture a lodgment for a continued defense and the city of Hornbach.
Understood, sir.
General Alexander, our forward units report numerous minefields around enemy positions.
Would have been odd if there weren't. Tell the field commanders to keep their eyes peeled.
Your forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core units' strength indicator is green and round-shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon-shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign. You will be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection. Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during the current turn, the canister icon will be green. If it can no longer move, the icon will be gray. Likewise, the ammunition icon shows whether the unit has attacked this turn. If the unit is low on ammunition or fuel, the corresponding icon is yellow. It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely. Fighter planes are vital for gaining air superiority. Keep your fighters close to allied aircraft you want to protect, and they will provide fire support. Fighters are able to attack ground targets, although with low efficiency. They can use the Overwatch breakthrough skill to counter enemy anti-aircraft fire and clear the way for tactical bombers. Tactical bombers are flying artillery and a great tool for wreaking havoc on any. Damage is indicated with the numbers above the unit being attacked. For ground and aircraft units, there are two types of damage, lethal and non-lethal. Both lethal and non-lethal damage decrease the unit's strength. However, non-lethal damage at the same time increases the number of units damaged, which can later be restored. Naval units always receive only lethal damage, however they have multiple ship parts with their corresponding HP, thus damage against them is split. Ship parts except the hull are repaired over time by ship maintenance. Hull HP cannot be restored in any way during the operation. Reconnaissance is extremely important. You have captured
General Alexander, I am sending you more reinforcements as we speak. The Matilda II heavy tanks, among others. Try to keep them where they can maneuver, and no enemy weapon will pierce their armor.
Greetings, General Alexander. An MI6 agent contacted me recently and mentioned that a shipment of machine guns has just been transferred to a warehouse in Walsheim. I believe a small detour is now in order.
According to the plan, Walsheim is to be captured by the French.
Infantry is good for assaulting the enemy positions after the artillery and air bombardment. It is also the best unit for storming cities, mountains, forests, and well-entrenched positions. A well-entrenched infantry is a tough target for the enemy assault. Artillery is the basis of the firepower of your forces. It can weaken enemy fortifications to allow your troops to attack without heavy losses. It is also good for defense, as it provides fire support to the ground units within its range. However, its main strength is its long firing range, which allows you to destroy the enemy troops from afar. Remember though, artillery is vulnerable to aircraft attacks and in close combat, so it needs to be protected. Tanks are ideal for a rapid offensive in open terrain. However, they are vulnerable in close quarters to the infantry units in difficult terrain. This unit has heavy equipment. Units with heavy equipment cannot move if they do not have ground transport. Additionally, they cannot board air transport and can only disembark from naval transport at a seaport. Anti-tank artillery is effective against tanks and other hard targets. Your best tactic when using anti-tank artillery is to position it next to your other forces to provide them with fire support versus attacks from enemy tanks. All six
Walsheim is ours, General Alexander. You should have seen the faces of those French officers when they saw our Union Jack flying over the town hall. And we found those German MGs. No match for our Vickers, but not bad either.
We're allies, of course. But it's always a pleasure to show the Frenchies who's the best at waging war.
fuel tanks are almost empty. If the unit is within the supply zone, fuel will be resupplied at the end of turn. You have selected an entrenched unit. When a ground unit finishes its turn while still being able to move, it gains 1 level of entrenchment. The unit can have up to 6 levels of entrenchment. Each level of entrenchment increases all defenses by 1. The unit loses all levels of entrenchment when it moves. Naval and aircraft units cannot gain entrenchment. Each attack against an entrenched unit reduces the entrenchment level by 1. Beware the fire support of the enemy artillery if you attack enemy troops with an artillery unit nearby.